It's Friday night. Yo, what's good, my good peoples in here? Happy Friday to everyone. Y'all know what it is. Before y'all go out, y'all come pregame with the tailgate. Talk to the boys, have a good time. So y'all we gonna put y'all in a good mood. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be negative. Well, we try not to be negative today. But yeah, today, man, we got Chris Grier. I think we wanna, have a little conversation of how bad of a GM he is, or what do y'all put him in the pecking order when it comes to the Dolphins GM in history. And let's go based off draft. Now you know what? Let's just go based off everything. We talk of front offices. I know we like to talk how bad our front office is, and how the collective, people have a problem with that. So we're gonna start talking about front offices and do some compare and contrast. And we probably, and not probably, but most definitely gonna be talking all Dolphins team. I'll put one together. We're gonna have Lou maybe, put one together live. And it's one caveat though. It has to be the player has to been drafted by the Dolphins. But before I get into the show, let me bring up my co-host real quick. Lou, what's up, my boy?
Tony, what's good?
Yo, yo. Now I know I gave y'all all of the titles, but we got a little breaking news. So we're gonna start off there. Now I know y'all been watching on I don't know if y'all follow X, but breaking news, it seems like if the Dolphins are in, I don't know if say desperate need. Let's just say they in heated discussions or ongoing discussions. They might be moving off for a certain player. Um it's this dude. I like give him credit. I don't like act like I know what I know, even though, But I saw this dude, Ricky. Y'all know, he called himself Pretty Ricky on X. Now, I got a, got a little DM, got a little whatever you want to call it, little birdie, however Lewis them call it. And I saw that they sent me that they said tour. Miss Relentless said tour. But listen, they said an All Pro. I don't think Tua ever made an All Pro. Did he? Luke?
No.
So it ain't two. How many All Pros you got on this team?
Currently, I think one.
Jaden, Ramsey.
Oh, Ramsey. Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, in his career, yeah.
Yeah. Former. Remember, he said former All Pro. So but don't be surprised. Now, Lou, let me get Lou. Lou just Lou sometimes he want to be the sauce god sometimes, but he'll send me a text message here and there. You know what I'm saying? I got a text
Listen,
message.
I have no sauces, man. No sauces.
But he do be sending me some things because I don't be privy. I'll be working. And if y'all understand, see, that's why it's the yin and the yang. You gotta have someone that understand what it needs to get this show rocking how it rock. So when I be in there trying to put things together, last minute adjustment, I get a DM or something that went on X or something that he done heard backstage. And I heard that I'll project. Can you want to elaborate on the odds of Miami Dolphins drafting a wide receiver now in the first round, Luke?
That's crazy, Tone, that you ask. So the Vegas odds before, the latest news with Tyreek and now this latest report that Dolphins are looking to maybe get rid of this all-pro player. Vegas, and we all know, listen, if there's one thing about Vegas, if you've been there or you haven't been there, everybody, it's universally known. Vegas don't lose money. That's what they don't do, right? The Vegas odds before all this information was coming out was first round pick for the Dolphins picking a wide receiver was plus 2,000. It's down to plus 950. So I don't know. Hey, Tone, I have a saying, right? Back in my elementary school day, I used to play connect the dots, right?
Oh, Lord.
I don't know if everybody else knows how to connect the dots. I think the writing is on the wall, Tone, that Tyreek Hill is probably getting up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Goodness.
it is what it is.
Now, let's just say, hold on. I see y'all already in here, Miss Relentless. I told you, Grumpy, I see you in there. Shout out to you, Grumpy. She wanted Tua out of here. Look, she thought it was Tua. Triple X, no, not that. I
Absolutely.
know we are lit. He talk about he getting active on multiple Super Bowls. You know what I mean? That's a fact, man. I guess that Super Bowl doing his thing. Benjamin said, even though y'all get on my nerves most days, y'all still my favorite Dolphin content creator. Hit that like button. Listen, if we could get on your nerves, that means we really mean something to you. Because if you ain't care about it, we couldn't get on your nerves. Oh, Grumpy said the Arizona receiver. I don't know. Tedawar. Hey Lou, what do you think about Tedawar McMillan? Cause I got Neil's take on it, but what you think about him
Listen, I think he's a
at
big
13?
body. That's what. Yeah, yeah. See,
That's
my opinion is still not changing from when we had the conversation tone a little bit on the Wednesday show.
mm-hmm.
I think you can get wide receivers later, right? Even if we lose Tyreek, bro. Listen, Malik Washington, I think showed something. Obviously, Waddle. You brought in Westbrook Akina. You got Taj coming back. You add another one maybe in the draft a little bit later. Again, would I be mad? Like, am I gonna start breaking stuff in my house if a wide receiver's at 13? No, but I just think you could still find them maybe later on in the draft. For me, I still wouldn't do it at 13. You know what I'm saying? But listen, Tak's nice, man. I'm not gonna complain. Big body. Um, makes plays, right? Like, I just don't know if that's, for me at least, Tone, I don't know if that's the move for me at 13. I don't know if I would do it.
yeah. See, in Jalen Waddle for me makes me say I'm not panicking at even if we do move off Tyreek, I'm not panicking and reaching for a receiver at 13. I'm not doing
Facts,
it.
bro.
Like
Facts.
I'm not. I get it. It's breaking news. Everyone want to get up in arms about it. Cool. If they do it, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy when he's gone. That's the only thing that's gonna make me happy. Reaching for a receiver, nah, we don't need to do that. Just get him off our team. That's all I want. Get him off our team. Get rid of distractions. Be over with. But I thought that was very, very interesting. So there y'all have it. Breaking news. Tyreek might be on the move sooner than later. Let's see how you know, he do be hitting. He was hitting. I say he was hitting at like a 90-some% rate. He might be at around 80 something now, but he's hitting at a high clip. What do receivers matter when you don't have a quality quarterback?
That's a fact.
What his name? Michael
That's a,
K.
that's Michael K. That's a
Appreciate
fact.
you.
Yeah.
That's from a
That's a
Buffalo
fact.
Bills fan.
That's a fact.
Appreciate you, sir. When our Dolphins fans said they say we hating on our team.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That's a fact.
but yeah, so I would say I'm not. Let's not reach. Let's not do all this. And yeah, let's move. Let's see what they do moving forward. But yeah, moving forward though, right now, Chris Grier, you know, saying we might be moving moving on for Tyreek. You need a GM to handle that business. Go ahead and do some negotiating and talk to other GMs. I was doing some, I was doing a little research and just start thinking about the players that's been drafted, team that's been put together, and team how the GMs assemble teams. And I started thinking like, how far down the list does Chris Greer fall? When you compare him to the former Dolphins GM or whoever tenure, because sometimes I was looking at it and like in the Dave Wanstead year, they had him as the GM, but it was supposed to be I forgot the dude name. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all in a minute. They had Dennis Hickey in there from 2012 to 2015 or something like that. They didn't have Mike Tenenbaum listed at all. They had everything under Christopher Greer from 2016 to now. So I don't know so whoever was making the picks, Lou, if you had to grade them and put them like how would you put them in a bottom tier or upper tier? Where would you rank Christopher Greer when it comes to the Miami Dolphins GMs in the job that he's been doing during his tenure?
For me, again, I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, especially in our chat. Chris Greer is the best general manager, in my opinion, we had. Point blank, period. He's better than Tenenbaum. He's better than Hickey. He was better than Wanstead. First of all, when Wanstead was being the general manager, let me point out the money wasn't as crazy, so you didn't really have to worry about the salary cap in that aspect because the money wasn't like what, you got to play with now and do all this stuff. No, bro, I'm sorry. People can be in their feelings all they want. Chris Grier, for me, is the best general manager we have. Bro, it's not even close, to be honest with you. It's not even close.
Yeah, you like him over the Wannstedt years?
Yeah. Absolutely. Because if we're remember, Wannstedt, how many years did Wannstedt coach here? 5, 6, 6 years?
3 years.
Okay, so
I
3
think it was
years.
3.
Okay, well, even worse, because Wannstedt basically inherited Jimmy Johnson's team. So we're gonna give Dave Wannstedt credit for coaching someone else's team?
No.
I ain't trying to hear that, bro. Stop with the Wannstedt. I ain't trying to hear none of that dumbass shit.
That is a great rebuttal. What about? So now you said Jimmy Johnson. What about his years?
Again, good years too, but I look at more Jimmy as just a roster builder anyway, which is a general manager, right? But he's still going to me, in my opinion, he's a head coach, right? Now they gave him maybe the autonomy.
They gave him 4 years.
Who wants that? Jimmy?
No. Jimmy Johnson. They gave him from 96 to 99.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm always going to look at Jimmy as a head coach, though, right? He got to bring in his groceries, his players, whatever. That's fine. Again, bro, Jimmy's up there as well. I'm sorry though. For me, it's Chris Grier. Bro, you can bring up whatever name you want, Tom. For me, it's Chris Grier. I don't work with the feelings like everybody else. Oh my God, he missed on this. Bro, you could tell me on every team, Howie Roseman for the Eagles has missed a pick. He's missed 2 picks. He's missed 3 picks. Right? The problem is, Tone, and you know how this thing works. In Miami, we highlight the misses, and then we'll highlight, okay, well, there was a hit here, but look at this miss here. When we evaluate other teams, we give, and I know there's going to be maybe a conversation a little bit later, Tone, we give all these other teams all this credit, though. We highlight all the hits. What we don't talk about is all the misses on that team. Right? That's what we don't do.
That's 100% fact.
So again, bro, again, Chris Grier's the guy, bro. Chris Grier's our guy. Point blank period. Now, should he be fired? I'm not here to debate that. But just the question, no, he's been our best general manager.
Who drafted Dan Marino?
You gonna give that to Shula?
I think it was around Shula. So I'll say between Shula and I think it was the dude, Dean put me up on him. Eddie Jones. I think that tenure right there, I think those was the best for me, right? As far as putting together a team that I want to go out and that I will want to field and go to war with. I'll say that. Go to war with. I would say those two because every year, every season, during those times, we were competing. So I'll give them that. And they gave Eddie Jones from 1990 to 2004. And, Don Shula, even though it was Mike Robbie, technically the GM, he was from 78 to 89.
But real quick, and no shot at Dean, because Dean is a Dolphin historian. That's my guy. I love talking to Dean, right? But this goes to prove our point of we've been talking about, and Dean's point as well. Hopefully, Dean's listening. You need a quarterback at the end of the day, because Eddie Jackson, or whoever it is, right? Or Eddie Jones, whoever it was, right? We're going to give him credit from 90 to 2004. Now, what people will tell you, though, is, Tone, Marino never had a running game. So are we going to put that on Eddie Jones for not getting him in a running game?
Mm.
People say that Dan Marino didn't have a defense. So are we putting that on Eddie Jones? No, we just give him credit because a bunch of players that got drafted worked out. Well, let me explain something to people. Dan Marino worked out. Dan Marino was carrying a lot of people, including Don Shula. Right?
Mm.
So are we just, when we look and we evaluate and we're like, well, Eddie Jones did, look at the rosters. Y'all can't have it both ways. You can't tell me, well, look at the rosters, but then on the other end, when Dan Marino failed or whatever, or the team failed, well, he never had a running game. Well, whose fault is that? Oh, he didn't have a defense. Well, whose fault is that? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. That's
all I'm saying, bro.
So I would say this, and I'm glad you brought that up because, and we were going to get into that a little bit later. They were responsible for bringing Dan Marino in. And they were responsible for constructing a team around him, and that's why I said between those two, because the ones that brought in Dan Marino, and then they also, the one that brought Dan Marino in was technically Don Shula, but the OJ McDuffies and the Urban Fryers and all that, the people that was, that was under Eddie Jones. So I would give them credit for the way they was constructing that roster. You remember they brought in Tony Martin too, a couple of years. I think we got him from Atlanta. So, and by you having that quarterback and making it work with that quarterback, I'm gonna give you credit for that. Now, I do have Christopher Grier. For me, I have him like the second. And I go back, and if we go back and look on his draft and the people that he brought in, let's not just stick a draft, because people like to use the draft as the sticking point and to land their argument. What about the free agents he brought in?
Facts.
What about if you go and say who put the best team, construct the best roster, you're gonna have that 2023 team in there. What do you think was the best, the second best, maybe third? Because you might have 92 or 94 team. A lot of people say the 92 team was the best one, and then you'll say 2023. Now you might want to go way back to the 70, 72. Let me tell you why I didn't bring them up. I think back then, because I wasn't looking, they had between 12 to 18 draft picks. They didn't have that many teams, so it was easier, and the money wasn't that problem. Salary cap, they didn't have to worry about all that craziness.
And Tone, to your point, real quick, free agency wasn't that big neither.
Mm-hmm. So
It
they had
was
to worry about
free agency wasn't like what it was today or is today.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that goes bro. I don't know.
So I'm just saying that's why I'm not bringing up those. I'm not bringing up those. Oh, that's what's up. I'm not bringing up those older days, because it was a different times, And plus, I really can't judge it on league was smaller. Everything was different. It wasn't, because you got to think about the difficulty too. Not just, they had these players, they brought these players in. No, how difficult was it to bring those players in? How hard was it to maintain your players when you do bring them in? Because if you want to start thinking about that, if you really want to start thinking about some of the people that Chris Grier brought in some talent. Like he brought in all pros too. Mika Fitzpatrick, he ain't here, but he brought him in. So all pro. Last year, Brandon Jones was rated out the second highest safety in the league. Because Grier brought him in. He over there, but he drafted him. Robert Hunt made his first All Pro, made a Pro Bowl. Now, I don't think it was All Pro, but I know he made the Pro Bowl. Chris Grier brought him in. All your favorites that we said we left the building, Chris Grier brought them in. And then we're not going to talk about the Bradley Chubb, the Tyreek Hills, and people of those natures that he brought in from free agency and build, possibly, if you want to put that argument in there, build the best roster the Dolphins in Dolphins history. At least one.
All people are doing, Tone, is talking about the end results. That's all they look at. The team didn't win. Okay, cool. That doesn't mean, again, it doesn't matter, Tom. It really doesn't. No one's going to try to listen to this argument. They're only going to see what they see, and that's fine. Blame Chris Grier, blame whoever. It is what it is. The point is, there's been talent on this team. There was talent on the team in 92. There was talent on the team in 96. There was talent on the team in 2004. There's talent on the team in 2025. The fact of the matter is, none of the if we're going to play the game, then none of these general managers in Miami have been good, because none of these teams have won.
Except for the 70, 71, 72, 73 team.
Okay, so who was the general manager in 71, 72, 73?
Robbie, I think Mike or Joe Robbie. Joe Robbie, for one of Joe Robbie's sons or something like that, I think. Wait, matter of fact,
well, there you go.
I probably went it was one of them. I went to look back. Yeah, I think it was one of them. Well, no, Don Shula. Nah, he was the head coach. Nah, that had to be Robbie. That was Joe Robbie or Mike Robbie. Yeah, it had to be Mike Robbie. One of them. But anyways, so yeah, I would say Chris Grier for me is second, but and I brought that up for Michael K. Yeah, I was there 2008 when Lamar Smith had 200 yards and we beat Indianapolis Colts in double overtime. I'm old enough to remember we won
Oh,
a
oh
half.
shit. You were there, Tone?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't there. I was there. Now I was there the last time we won the division and got a home playoff game against Baltimore Ravens in 2000. What year that was? Was it what 2008? No, 2008 was the last time we won a playoff game, so it had to
Two
be
thousand.
20,
Yeah.
2012, was it?
2011, I think.
2011, 2012.
Yeah.
I was at that game. Oh my bad. He said that wasn't for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir.
No,
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
he's going back and forth with Triple S. No, I
oh,
was actually at that the Lamar Smith game, the 200
oh,
yard
we get
game.
the Colts. Mm-hmm.
Man, we didn't think, when he hit that sideline, because Lamar Smith, if you don't remember, he was a workhorse and he would
Breakthrough.
he would run you over. He just wasn't gonna
You
run
can run
by
you.
you.
Run. Yep. Yep. Can
Yeah,
run
he
past
couldn't
you.
run by you, bro. When he was getting hawked down, my dad had mine. He had me so wrapped up around my neck. I thought, bro, I was probably losing oxygen. He was holding me so tight when he was about to get hawked down. Cause when you look at it, bro, my
Oh
dad,
God.
he started screaming, "Oh, he's gonna fumble. They're gonna come and punch the ball out from the back." Man, it was crazy. But when they kind of yoked him down and he still got in, like fell in, bro, the stadium was electric that day, Tom. That shit was
Yeah,
wild.
man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
I remember, bro. I remember, man. God dog. That was crazy. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, 2000. That's when it was. The year 2000. But see, so now talking about, I wanted to bring up Chris Grier and let's see, because I just like to be. Let's keep the same energy. So, but let's also be honest and let's put it with facts in there because he drafted some All Pros. He drafted some Pro Bowls, a lot of Pro Bowlers. And if you put the Pro Bowlers and the All Pro next to Chris Grier, his roster when it comes to drafting, it stands with the best of them. Now Don Shula might have, it wasn't Don Shula, whoever that was, Jimmy Johnson, whoever brought in Jack Thomas, Jason Taylor. They got the Hall of Famers and things. Whoever brought in
That
Marino
that
got
was
the Hall of
that
Fame.
that was Jimmy.
Jimmy, I'm saying they got the Hall of Famers and things of that nature. But as far as bringing in talent and all pros and Pro Bowlers, Chris Greer got him with the best of them, and we're yet to see if he have any Hall of Famers, albeit if it's on this team or not. But yeah, he was doing his thing, so I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be. But since everyone like to over exaggerate things, let's talk about. I was reading something. I don't remember what column it was, right? And they was having a debate about the best. Who's the top NFL front office? Who has the NFL front office? Lou, now I got some names for you, Lou. Some franchises, and they're gonna shock you in a bit. We talked about this, right? The Ravens, to most people, had the most votes up there. I forgot how many it was, but the Ravens had the most votes.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, Ozzie Newsome. Yep.
they had Kansas City Chiefs, San Fran, and then someone brought up Philly. Somebody brought up Philly. They were like, yeah, and they were like Philly. And then the debate was how long the Chiefs, San Fran, and the Ravens have been doing it. So and then they were, they're still competing. So I was like, okay, cool. Then someone added in Pittsburgh and Green Bay Packers.
Mm.
I'm like, Pittsburgh, they don't have that many quarterbacks. The coaches, they were bringing up the coaches. They only have like 3 coaches in their whole tenure since their existence. Green Bay, I think they only have 3 or 4 quarterbacks in their entire existence. So that was kind of the argument with them. And then, the Chiefs, how they've been up and down, but this run that they're on. So people, the recency bias, and that what made people bring in the Philadelphia Eagles, the team that beat the Chiefs. There was only in the Super Bowl. So, and then you know what, Lou? I was thinking, I'm reading this, and I thought about my dog. Because I said, no one brought up the Patriots.
The team with the most Super Bowls out of any of those teams. But no,
No
continue.
one brought up the Patriots. And I started thinking, why did no one bring up the New England Patriots? And I said, maybe because Tom Brady wasn't there. You see how soon, how quickly we forget about franchises, because it was all about that front office. They stay with the trenches. They build team and not players. They front office know what they're doing. When they was on that run, mind how things changed when Tom Brady left. Now all of a sudden, is it not the same front office? Now all of a sudden, they don't know what they're doing now?
It's not the same owner over there?
Same owner. Robert Kraft still there. And I say, now I go an argument for Lou when he always say, it's the players. You know how Lou is like, I'm tired of hearing about the people in suits and ties. Let's talk about the people putting on the uniform, lacing up them cleats. I'm just saying, why? When we start thinking, because when I start seeing people name, I'm like, ooh, no one talked about the Patriots. We quickly forget. Because those players, you know what? You know why Baltimore Ravens is still ringing bells? Because they still going to Super Bowl. I mean, they still going to playoffs and making playoff. They're going to AFC Championship game. They got Lamar Jackson. That keeps whether he hasn't won a playoff game or won since he been here. He won 2 MVPs. Was supposed to be a 3-time MVP, and he keep that team lit. You know why they bringing up Kansas City Chiefs? Because Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid there, Travis Kelce. That's why they continue bringing them up. Let's be real.
You don't think it's the front office over there?
I have no idea about the front office. You want to know what you want to know why San Fran? Because they still going to Super Bowls. Still, Brock Purdy. They went one with Colin Kaepernick, Jimmy Garoppolo. They still making playoffs. I mean, Super Bowls. This is why the front office is still in your forefront when you're thinking about the best front offices. And then someone bought in Philly. Why? Because they beat that Kansas City team. They beat that New England team that no one mentioned. The debate came when they were like, well, the team that beat Patrick Mahomes, who almost might be the greatest one, is that Philly team. They've been building a team for years. You know why? Because they won a Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts didn't fold. So now people are like, hold on, let's give them credit. Because what their team did. That's what I'm saying. And then someone was talking about quarterbacks, and they brought out Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So I was like, dang, how come no one brought up New England? Maybe because when Tom Brady left, he put together a team over there in Tampa and won a Super Bowl with them. Excuse me. And I think he went to another AFC Championship game too. Maybe that's why they giving that credit. What you told me, Luke, backstage? We talk about the Patriots way. It was the Tom Brady way.
It was Brady. Brady was the culture in New England. He made everything go. It wasn't the front office. And again, bro, this is my argument, Tone. Go down the list. In Kansas City, they got a great front office. They got all these great players. They draft well. Take Patrick Mahomes off Kansas City. What are they? They're Kansas City with Alex Smith. Because what wasn't Andy Reid the coach of Alex Smith?
Yes.
Now they were getting to the playoffs. They were winning 10 games. Right?
Yeah, I think he went to the AFC Championship game too. I think.
No. They only got past the
divisional round.
Yeah, okay. They only got to the divisional round with Alex Smith. Now, with all that talent, right? They had all these. Again, Tyreek was there with Alex Smith. Travis Kelce was there with Alex Smith. Andy Reid was there with Alex Smith. Right? That front office was there. What happened? Why were they winning? Now Patrick Mahomes got there. Now all of a sudden they got the greatest front office ever.
You said they go with it. I know he talk about French, San Francisco, but I'm just saying why people they still saying they're one of the best because they're gone. So
bro,
I get
it's always about players, Tone. At the end of the day, people are not going to realize it. You can cry about the front office all you want. The front office is not winning games on Sunday. I don't care what people try to think or say or tell you. The players are going to win, and guess what? It's like that in everything you do.
Now, Lou, I ain't gonna lie. Now, I said I did try to put together, some common denominators, I would say this: for the most part, a lot of those teams when they go to the Super Bowl and the ones that win it, they're very physical and imposing teams. It's very rare a speed team is win you that's finesse. Very rare. Either their trench is heavy, offensively or defense, and they got a bruiser as a back, or they just physical all over. Got a physical defense. They offense, just first down after first down, kill you like death by 1,000 cuts. They tend to have those type of things. It's not the crazy ones. Even the Kansas City, because I'm like, dang, remember we had this debate? I'm like, when the last time a dynamic running back won the Super Bowl? That the team had a dynamic running back, because we were thinking about all of the Kansas City. I'm like, they had Damian Williams that year with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They had Kareem Hunt, very physical, and then Isaiah Pacheco, a lot of physical backs, and then Patrick Mahomes gonna kill you with it. They tend to have physical, tough-nosed defenses. So I'm like, okay, that's the way they build them teams. That's one of the common denominators. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, the Patriots was very physical last year. They run game was very physical and dominant. They not finesse. They had that quarterback though.
That's what I'm saying, Tom. Right? I get what you're saying. I agree, right, with everything you said. But this 2023, go back to 2023, that finesse team in Miami, that speed team in Miami.
Yeah.
If Joe Burrow's the quarterback, they're in the AFC Championship game playing for a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
That is a fact. I'll give you that.
If Patrick Mahomes in 2023 is the Dolphins quarterback with that finesse, soft, bad constructed football team, guess where we're playing at, Tom?
In the Super Bowl, I believe.
So what are we again?
That's what I said when I was. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, adding to your point, bro, at some point we got to open our eyes. Yes, the team could be a little bit better or be constructed, but we get it. But every team misses on draft picks. You got to have the guy, bro. It always comes down to players. If you got players, again, Eric Spoelstra, your Miami Heat.
Yes, sir.
Great coach. Right? When you give him Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron, he's going to win championships because he's great. Now, when you give him Tyler Heroes and Bam Adebayo, he's going to get to championship games and finals, but he ain't going to win it. Right? What you need is players. Players are always going to make you great. Right? Like Pat Riley, when he was the coach of the Lakers, right? Oh, Pat Riley was great. He had the greatest point guard to ever play the game. He had arguably the greatest center to ever play the game. He had James Worthy, Byron Scott, all these dudes, right? Not taking nothing away from Pat. But damn, Pat also.
Hold on, you going in and out, Lou. I can't hear you right now. But
my bad.
You back? Oh, okay. But to your credit, and that is true. That is true. Coaches could only do so much when the players are the one that reward these coaches. We always point to the bad part. It's like, the coaches. Oh, let's just say LeBron. LeBron got this coach fired. Oh, how many coaches did Tua get fired? How many coaches did Joe Burrow get fired? Well, you know what? Well, how many players got Andy Reid considered one of the top coaches of all time? How many players got Don Shula all the wins? The greatest, we got to keep the same energy when it comes to the coaching success as well. It's always, for the most part, it always going to come down to players. So, Pablo Diaz is wild.
Yeah, that's wild.
Hey, yo. He said the Heat are lost without Ty. Oh, Lord. He's the foundation. Lord, Jesus. You dropped that bomb, huh, Game Boy? I got you. But, to your point, it does come down to the players. At the end of the day, we could say front office, we could say GMs, we could say whatever we want. But players are going to be the difference in the way people look at you from your career standpoint. They're not going to be real about, oh, yeah, he brought in this guy, because if that guy don't pan out, they putting on you. But when he pans out, then after a while, they're like, okay, He brought in some good talent. That guy know how to coach. He know how to win. But it was a big debate between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady for years. Tom Brady left and went to Tampa Bay, changed that franchise. Patriots went down ever since. They went on the downfall ever since he left. So, I mean, if you want to have a huge debate, then there you go. There you have it. The Indianapolis, even though because people don't realize that they had drafted Andrew Luck, was really good, injured. Peyton Manning went over to Denver and got two Super Bowls from over there. I mean, got a Super Bowl over there though. Now, let's not forget that he lost one and won one, but he changed that franchise. He won't change that because they had John Elway. John Elway. But look at what he's done over there. That goes to show you, especially when you have that quarterback, that is the most important thing that we need to consider. So when you see people like me, Lewis, and people that criticize our quarterback so much and don't praise him and be like, oh, just he's our quarterback, so we have to be all whoop-de-doopy, whoop-de-doo and happy-go-lucky and all that type of stuff. Bro, keep in mind, the quarterback could change the trajectory of your franchise. That's the most important person. Now, you have some one-offs that people are going to say, oh, the Trent Dilfers of the world, the Brad Johnsons of the world, the what's the dude from Philadelphia, the Nick Foles of the world. I get it. They had tremendous teams around them, but they also played their part. They made big plays when it needed to. When their number was called, they made those plays. At the beginning of the Tom Brady career, he was one of those guys too. He was a game manager. But when his name was called, and he had to get Adam Vinatieri in position to kick that game-winning field goal, he did that. Then he became, take over, I'm doing this and that. But he always had that clutch gene from day one. So that's all I'm saying. So when we could criticize our quarterback or put more or the blame on him, it's because we understand that's the key component to winning the Super Bowl, not just being a good team. And that's a fact. Period. I don't know what I'm saying? What else you want me to say? That's it. We can't say no more. But I did think, because that's the first thing I thought about, Lou, when I was reading that column. I'm like, dang, look how quick people forgot about the Patriots. And I see Michael K was saying about Buffalo. I'm guessing they didn't bring up Buffalo because I guess they went, because no team has still haven't done that yet. They went to 4 straight. No team has done that yet, but look how people look at when you don't get the job done. People, it's easy to forget. Hold on, what did he say? Hey, Lou, you missed the biggest flip-flopper in YouTube history today. I was asking for you to get him today. No names need to be said. Laugh out loud. Dang, I wonder who he talking about. God, there you go. You want to elaborate on the 2 fan? I know you was coming from Beach Channel. I know you was.
Well, so Tone, you haven't seen the last 2 episodes. Pizza to a near now.
Oh no! I've been telling y'all that. I've been saying. I say don't let him fool you. He's a to a near now.
Pete is full-fledged to a near. Pete has, for the last 2 days, has been telling everybody that Tua this is going to be the best season yet. He's going to start reading the field. He's going to do everything well. Tua, he's bought in, Tone. Pete is a Tua near, and I'm happy to see it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. Pete has come home, and it's great, man.
Oh, he came home.
Yeah, he came home. Pete
so you back on the Tua near side then?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Pete.
He said it's called Stockholm syndrome. But Lou, I wanted to cover that, but I did want to get in something more of happy hour time. I was telling Pete, you lucky Lewis ain't here. Truth, man. Oh man. What I was saying, but yeah, I wanted to get into something. I gave people a little sneak peek while we was in X on the spaces earlier, but I want to do something, that I want to get your take on it. And the chat, I need y'all to chime in on this as well. We closed, what we like 2.5 weeks away from the draft. I think we 15 days away. When did you drop on 26 or the 28? 26 through the 28, right?
I think, yeah, 26 through 28, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we 15 days away. So yeah, this a day apart, right around 2 weeks away. So I was thinking about an all Dolphin team, right? Let's based on the caveat is they have to be drafted by the Dolphins. Have to be drafted by the Dolphins because I know some people were saying Richie Incognito when it came to the offensive line. A lot of people were saying Ricky Williams when it came to running back. And I was like, nope, they have to be drafted by. We in draft season. They have to be drafted by the Dolphins. So let's stick to that narrative. And I came up with me a list, Lou. And I know I didn't have time to, we were working, so I didn't have time to ask you to put together your list. So we're gonna go off mine, and then I want you to give me if you would change someone. If you want me to put up the drafts, I probably could put it up over here, and see if your name. But I'm gonna start on offense because y'all know I'm a big defense fan. I might spend a little bit longer than that. So offense, I wanted to say I don't know how you think about it. You think about wins, you think about Super Bowl wins or stats. But I ain't gonna lie, even though we kill them in spaces, I did go with Dan Marino if I had it on my all time quarterback. I know people would say Bob Greasy probably, and the other argument you would give, but I'm going Dan Marino all day.
Yeah,
All
I ain't got no issue.
You feel what I'm saying? Now we got running back. I'll pick. Did we draft Mercury Morris?
We had Mercury. We had Larry Zonka.
Yeah, I'm saying did we draft him though? I couldn't find if we
Yeah,
drafted him.
he was a draft.
Okay,
yeah, we drafted him.
Cool. I went with Zonka though. I went with Larry Zonka. It was either him or Mercury Morris. I did go with Zonka. I don't know if you more of a Mercury Morris dude or
I'm going somewhere else. I'm going Ricky Williams for me.
We didn't draft him. That's why I didn't go Ricky Williams.
Shit, that's right.
That's the same thing I said. I say, man, I forgot. I'm just, I was freestyling it. I was freestyling. I'm like, nah, somebody right. I was like, we draft Ricky Williams. Let me go see the running backs. You know what I'm saying? We drafted. I'm like, Somebody say Jim Kick. What did he play running
back? Devon A-Chain.
I was thinking. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking Devon A-Chain, but I was like, he ain't doing enough. Zonka bought us 2 Super Bowls.
Nah, I would go Doc with Jim Kick. That's a good one.
David Overstreet.
Listen, man. Again, a shout out to Sean. You a little bit older than I am though, because I don't know who the hell that is. I'm just saying. No shot. I'm just saying. Hey, that's a man of wisdom. I just don't have that wisdom because I ain't that old. No, I guess I'll go Zonka then for me too. Yeah, I'm gonna go Zonka.
Fullback. I went. Who you were gonna put?
No, go ahead.
I went Rob Conrad. That's who I when I was looking at him, I'm like, listen, I grew up watching him. I'm going. I was gonna say, not Keith Byers was tight end. God dog it.
No, Keith Byers wasn't. We didn't draft him though.
And we didn't draft him because I was thinking Keith Byers, Terry Kirby, but I'm like, no, they were like H-backs. They weren't fullbacks. So I went with like I said, I went with Rob Conrad. Who you was gonna say?
Well, I know he wasn't a full-time fullback. That's the problem.
Who?
Didn't we draft Lusaka Polite?
Did we draft him? I like Mustafa Polite, but I don't think we drafted him though. Somebody in the chat, did we draft him?
If we drafted him, that would be my guy.
Whoever put David Overstreet, he was trolling.
Oh, okay, well.
He played 2 years for us. Like, boy, ain't do nothing. So Mustafa Polite? No, I don't see him on our draftees. I'm not gonna lie. I'm checking it.
Trying to think fullbacks. Who the fuck have we had?
The other one who it was. I'm trying to figure who was the other one because I was like, it was either him or the dude, and it came to me quickly. But I don't remember, dog. Matter of fact, let me put up the roster. Let me go. I gotta go to running back. Stanley Pritchett. That's where I was going. either Robert Conrad or Stanley Pritchard. I had to put him up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't see himself polite on none of our drafts, so we might have not drafted him, Lou. See,
Could have been UDFA undrafted.
no, that's not our favorite all-time player. We picking all-time Dolphin team. Did we draft? No, did we draft? Oh, dang, triple. I don't know. No, he's not on there. So he was there with Dan Marino. Yeah. So Dan Marino is our quarterback. Larry Duncan is our running back. And here this man go. Oh, see, Armando said Rod Conrad too. See, I'm Rod Conrad.
Well, yeah, we'll go with Conrad.
No, you can pick a different one now. You ain't gotta be. You know what I'm saying? If you want some,
I don't remember no fullbacks.
I don't think. Yeah, I ain't see him. Okay, well, receivers. You got two of them. My first one. The first thing came to my mind. I'm not gonna lie, was Mark Clayton. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the first one came to my mind. So,
and
who you put outside of him?
Mark Duper.
What?
Yeah.
But that's your two receivers. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. You might not like it. I went Jalen Waddle. I'm sorry. I went Jalen Waddle, baby. Hey, I got his jersey. Yo, we gotta show some love. We can't be talking about Chris Grier and how he a good job, and we not gonna pick no players from his regime. Now we not gonna do that.
We talking about all time greatest Dolphin, and you put Jalen Waddle.
Well, who you? I'm putting him. If I
want to pick my team, brothers. I'm taking the Mark brothers.
I'm going based on what I think he's gonna finish with. If you look at his stats, he's right there with both of them. He's right there.
That's cap.
I'm telling you right now, I looked it up. I'm most definitely going Jalen Waddle. You can have Mark Brothers. I'm not even mad at it. Now, so Chris Chambers. You gonna pick Chris Chambers? Chris Chambers had like 1.5, 2 good years though. You know what I'm saying? Landry, not bad. I was really touching.
Landry's not bad.
Yeah, I was touching to be. He
said
Nat Moore and Darrell Harris.
What was
your
Doc,
age, my boy? Huh?
What was Doc saying?
Clayton. He said Clayton. Who the other one, Doc? Give us another one, Doc. Let's see who you get other one. He said the greatest wide receiver in Dolphin here is Mark Clayton, and then Paul Warfield.
Warfield's a good one.
Warfield is good. Oh yeah, Warfield is good.
Warfield is good. Wes Walker.
Then we dropped No, we didn't drop Marshall. He said we didn't. No, we didn't drop Brandon Marshall. Y'all crazy? No, we didn't drop that man. No. So you got Mark and you got the Mark brothers. I got Mark and Waddle.
Yeah.
Let's see who team better. We should have been able to put a poll and see. Okay, tight end now. Did we draft Troy Drayton? He ain't my tight end, but I wanted. Let me go back now that I got.
Yeah, I think we did draft Troy Drayton.
He ain't mine. I went Randy McMichael.
That's a good one. I love Keith Jackson. I love Keith Jackson, by the way, but we didn't draft him. Keith Jackson was already a player in the league, but Keith Jackson was good for us.
Yeah, you ain't showing no love to Mike Gesicki?
I'm gonna go. You took Randy McMichael. I'm gonna take Charles Clay.
Charles Clay. I saw him and I was like, Even
though
he played better in Buffalo, man. He was a traitor, man.
True Fin fan got a good one too.
Who you said? Let me go. Jim Jensen.
Yeah.
Jim Jensen. Anthony Fasano. No.
We didn't draft him.
We didn't even draft him, actually. We didn't draft him. So I'm not gonna. Pharrell Edmonds and Randy McMichaels. Okay. He said Warfield.
I thought Warfield was a receiver.
Jackson, he said he came from the Eagles.
Yeah, Keith Jackson. That's what I would have went with Jackson. But we didn't draft him.
Yeah, we do. I'll do Warfield. I mean, I'll do Randy McMichaels, but nah.
But I thought Warfield was a receiver, wasn't he?
They probably paid him at. Let me see.
Well, back then they probably it is what it is. Nah, give me number 42, man. Give me Charles Clay, man.
All right, you got.
I'm gonna take Charles Clay. I mean, damn, we haven't drafted no good tight ends neither.
We haven't, bro. We haven't drafted no good tight ends, bro. That is for real. That is. I'm going through the tight ends, bro. We haven't drafted no good tight ends, bro.
Trash, man.
God dang. Now, my favorite part of building a team.
Trenches.
So, he say, Doc said Jensen or Joe Roach. Okay. He was a receiver. Yeah, so he was. Warfield was a receiver, not Wakefield, but Warfield. You want to get your line? You want me to run my line down? Because I know, you know what I'm saying. Because mine's a little different, and I ran over there in the space. Matter of fact, I want to hear yours first. You could go tackle for tackle, guard by guard, or just give me 5 names. You want to go? Who you taking at center?
I know everybody's gonna say Stevenson.
That's
right?
a fact. I don't even know why.
I just don't want to be like everybody else, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Pouncey.
I see Triple F to Pouncey. I went Stevenson.
Yeah. I mean, that's obvious. Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Like I get it, but I'm gonna be a little different. I'm gonna go Mike Pouncey.
Let me get your 2 guards then.
Keith Sims is gonna be one.
He was right there for me. I didn't take him.
Keith Sims is gonna be one, and Liam Eichenberg is gonna be the other. I'm not. What we doing? Hey, ain't that my list?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here.
Is that not my list?
Boy, no way, boy.
Can I live? Can I make my list?
Lou, are you joking?
I mean, that's
who? Who?
Hey, man, you see Triple S in the chat. Liam, baby.
Mike Gesicki?
Hey.
I mean, not Mike Gesicki. Liam Eichenberg?
Let's just stop. Y'all keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the...
Please. No. You think you're going to win with him?
Who? With Dan Marino?
Say all Dolphin team. Liam Eichenberg.
Yeah. No.
Bullshit. I'm about to use every last one of the ones we got. You keep on saying. Matter of fact, hold on. I got one more question.
The greatest thing about sports is you play to win the game.
You're not playing to win with Liam Eichenberg.
Liam's gonna win.
All right,
with that lineup, with those weapons, and Dan Marino as a quarterback.
So you got Pouncey.
I got Keith Sims, and give me a minute with the other guard. Let me think.
Want me to run off some names for you?
Yeah, go ahead. Run off some names.
Okay. Let's go with the guard. I'm downstairs in tight ends. Let's go to the guard. All right. Oh, look, right under Keith Sims, Robert Hunt. Michael Dieter. Brent Smith. Solomon Kinley. You want Solomon Kinley?
Man, give me Liam and call it a day, dog. I ain't trying to hear none of
that. You don't want Liam. Trust me. You don't want.
Well, then it's gonna be from the names you just gave me. Then Robert Hunt. Then is that what we're doing?
I mean, I would put Robert Hunt. All right, you can have Liam. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take.
No. Give me Keith Sims and Robert Hunt.
What's the dude that was? I'm trying to look for the 1970. So Keith Sims and Robert Hunt. Yeah. My 2 guards. So you got you got Pouncey and Robert Hunt.
Yeah, and Keith Sims.
I mean Pouncey and Keith Sims. I'm sorry, Pouncey and Keith Sims. So I got Stevenson as my center. I moved Pouncey to guard because I wanted him on my team.
Hell no.
Yep. Yes,
you didn't tell me we were doing that.
Hold on. Well, you could do that because he was drafted out of Florida as a guard.
I ain't trying to hear that.
He was drafted as a guard. Marquise Pouncey played center.
Where'd he play?
He played at Florida. Oh, you mean in NFL?
Yeah, what he play?
He played both guard and center.
I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I knew you had this rigged somehow, somewhere.
Hey, listen, I wanted to listen, Lou. When I was doing, I say, man, we want the best 5 on the field. I had to figure out a way to get the Dwight Stevenson and Mike Pouncey on the same opposite line.
Larry Little is the guard. Keith Sims and Larry.
We didn't draft him. We didn't draft Larry Little.
What?
No, we didn't. He came from the AFL. I think I looked it up. I was gonna put him on there.
Man, all right, man. I got Robert Hunt and Keith Sims as my guards with Pouncey in my center.
Okay, all right. I got Stevenson. I got Pouncey and I got Robert Hunt as my guard.
Okay.
What about the 2 tackles?
Well, now that I can move,
yeah.
Obviously, it's Richmond Webb and Jake Long.
I went Richmond Webb and I went Lermy Townsend.
No, give me Jake Long
over Townsend. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, because Townsend only played what 2 years here with us.
2 or 3. I think 2 or 3. Whichever one it was.
No, I'm gonna take Jake. Yeah, I'm gonna take Long.
I like the Long, and I think him and Webb played on the same side. They both played left.
It don't matter. I'm moving on the right.
Yeah, I know. Townsend played both sides, so I took that in consideration too. And I wanted to put Townsend on there. That man dominating right now. So I don't know, man. Y'all tell me. Look, for Lewis, I ain't gonna lie. Your line kind of physical though. I ain't gonna. For you, not the one physical.
I got them bullies.
You got them bulldogs.
I got them bullies, dog.
Hey, because when I was thinking, I was like, hey, if I get Richmond Webb and I get Jake Long, I've got them bruisers. Then I was like, you know what? I'll take Townsend and I'll I get some guards that's versatile. I'm gonna take Long.
Triple S is crazy.
Shut down.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's wild.
Somebody said Richmond. Okay, everybody saying Webb and Long. Liam won't put Liam over. Put Liam over. Webb and Townsend. Okay, see Triple S thinking like me. He said Larry Little. I don't think we drafted him. They Richmond Webb with Solomon McKinley. Come on, bro. We not doing that.
Yeah.
Solomon McKinley. Nah, no sir.
Yeah.
Solomon McKinley. We not doing that. Nah. He said Liam the water boy. Liam the security guard.
Man, that Liam hate, man. Y'all gotta stop that Liam hate.
He do pick up to it every time he go down though.
Facts.
Every time he he pick him up. All right, man. That's our offense. Y'all can go ahead and debate that if y'all want. What about defense, Lou? Let's start with the 2 cornerbacks. I started. Let me give you my 2 quarterbacks. Since I already get it written down to give you some time to think about it. I went Sam Madison and Troy Vincent. He said Pete said Austin Jackson.
Hey, Austin Jackson won't be back.
Hey, I went Sam over Townsend, Jake Long, or Richmond Webb. No. Ain't gonna happen. Yeah. I went Sam Madison and Troy Vincent.
I'm gonna go. Oh, shit. I'm gonna go Madison and Surtain.
I was gonna go in there. They played together. So no love. Dang, that's crazy. No love for Xavier Howard. That's crazy.
Damn X. Shit.
Yo.
No, I'm gonna switch that up. I'm gonna go Madison and X.
Madison and X. I was thinking about doing that, but I was like, nah, bro. Trey Vincent, that man put on for us, man. Trey Vincent, I had to put Trey Vincent on there. He said I would have said Grimes, but he wasn't drafted. Yeah, he wasn't drafted.
Vontae Davis?
Ain't gonna happen. No. Boy quit in the middle of the season, man.
Sean Smith?
Sean Smith wasn't bad. I'm telling you right now. He couldn't catch to save his life. Boy couldn't catch to save his life, but he wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't doing Sean Smith. Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain. That's the duel.
Yeah.
He say me and Lou know. Yeah, well, see, he switched up on you.
But I'm gonna go X, man.
Armando says no.
Man, stop, man.
Yo, Triple S, what you talking about safety? So we built our secondary already. Let's go safeties then. He said Triple S. I I know you just gonna be a hot take. Y'all not gonna like it because he only played 1 year with us. But I went Minka Fitzpatrick and Rashad Jones.
Well, I'm gonna go Lewis Oliver.
I would say I know Lewis. I was sitting out there now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lewis Oliver, and I guess Rashad Jones.
Yeah, because you're gonna have Lewis that strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Jones can play both, you know that, but he better at free safety. He was all over the place. Rashad Brown, Jeremiah Bell. I thought about Jeremiah Bell. He was a 6th-round pick and a grinder, but we
drafted. We didn't draft.
Yeah, we drafted him in the 6th round. Yeah, I remember him because he started off and he just was a lunch pal guy. He kept getting better and better till he had that Pro Bowl season.
I thought he. Are you sure we drafted him?
Yeah. I looked at the history. We drafted him in the 6th round. Yeah. So yeah, Jones and Bell.
Like I said, I'm gonna go Jones and
a lot of people saying Jones and Bell. I figured that was gonna be the consistency, but I'm going Minka Fitzpatrick, Rashad Jones. Rashad Jones is my favorite safety in Dolphins history. That's my favorite safety.
No, I got to put Lewis Oliver there though.
I like Lewis Oliver because he was a thumper. You know what I'm saying? But Rashad Jones was too. Plus he had range.
Yeah.
But when you talk about laying that boom, striking fear in their heart, Lewis Oliver all day. You know what I'm saying? And I see now you're gonna see how I bought my the rest of my team why I ain't bring the thumper like that, because I was like, I need my safeties with range and that could tackle. Both of them are sure tackles and they could cover. So that's why I went to safeties like that. And Sam Madison and Troy Vincent and Sam Madison both could cover, both could tackle. My defense has to be physical. I'm sorry. And they both could play bump and run. You get what I'm saying? Put them on the island. So now when you want to go linebackers, I did this linebackers. I put a middle linebacker, outside linebacker, and then 2 edges. That's how I did the line. You get what I'm saying? So, like for instance, Jason Taylor, you can have him as a DN or you can have him as an outside linebacker, however you want to do him. However you want to put him in there. So,
you just don't want to do 3 linebackers and then 4 D linemen?
We can do 3 D. Well, technically, yeah, because let's go. All right, so let's do middle linebacker and 2 outside linebackers. The one of my guys, you're gonna be like, you probably gonna turn off the TV.
Zach Thomas is in there. He's playing the middle for me. So I got Zach in the middle.
Zach is my middle linebacker too. Now my 2 outside linebackers, I'm telling you, they both playing out of position.
Did we draft Brian Cox?
Yes.
That's gonna be one.
That's my other outside line. I'll put him at outside. I need that physicality.
Yeah.
I was like, I need him on there. Yes, sir.
I'm putting Brian Cox in there with me.
Cole Misi, are you crazy?
Nah, hell no.
Bart Marion and Brian Walker is good, but we didn't draft neither one. I think we did draft Brian. No, for sure we didn't draft Bart Marion. He came from Dallas, and I don't think we drafted Brian Walker either.
That right there. I'm gonna say Nick Bonaconte is a good.
We didn't draft him.
Yeah, we drafted Nick Bonaconte.
No, he didn't. He came. He started in the AFL. Well, you know what? That part we started on the Dolphins in the AFL though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Didn't he come from Minnesota?
No, I don't think so.
Or was that Larry Little? You know what? Let me look that up real quick.
No, I think we drafted Bonaconte.
He might have Lou.
Yeah.
He might have. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I think we drafted him.
Let me see. Where was he drafted? 1962 AF. Boston Patriots, they say here. Wait. And then the Dolphins. Hold on. Let me see the draft. Let me see draft though. Let me see if they drafted him or we did. Let me see that. Let me see. Look at it here. Boston Patriots. He went 13th round, 102nd overall by the Boston taking in the AFL league.
All right, so I got Thomas, Cox.
Ask me, bro. He said, ask me. Oh, he knew. Patriot, look, True Fit fan said, ask me. He said he's a historian. You ain't even got to look it up.
I'm trying to think of my other linebacker that we drafted, though, that I'm going to put on the other side.
You got Jerome Baker. You got
Channing Crowder.
Carter. So, my last outside linebacker that I put him on outside linebacker. I took Nick Chop Robinson. I'm putting him at outside linebacker. So I got Jason Taylor, Brian Cox, and Chop Robinson on my outside. Can you imagine that the speed of it? Now
You have five
that's when they
linebackers
can
then.
use them.
You have five linebackers.
I mean, not Jason Taylor. I'm sorry. I got Zach Thomas, Brian Cox, and Chop Robinson at linebacker. Those are my three. I'm sorry. Those are my three. Now, so and you took Channing Crowder, Florida. You want Florida. I see what you're doing. Now, right end, left end. Obviously, we both right in. We're going to take Jason Taylor.
I'm taking Jason Taylor. That's off rip.
Yeah, Jason Taylor.
If we didn't, let's say this guy wasn't in the draft, but we picked him up. He was the first team he played for in the NFL was us.
Can't wait.
Yeah, Cam.
We ain't drafted him. He came for the Arena Football League. I would allow that, though. You know, I don't know.
He came from
because he didn't get drafted by no one, right? He didn't get drafted by no one.
No, he can't, bro. We got him from the Canadian Football League.
Canadian Football League. So I'll let you get you can have him.
Yeah, I want Cam Wake and Jason.
Because I wanted to put Cam Wake, but I was like, I'm gonna stick to my guns. But I went Jason Taylor, and then I went with Bill Stanfield. That no-name defense, I didn't know how dominant they were until I went to watching highlights.
Nah, Mike. Give me Cam Wake.
I'm taking that no-name defense, boy. You crazy. I need physicality. He say Tony disrespecting Canadian man. And I say you got him. He said, oh. Yeah. That's why I put him at linebacker, so he can make the tackle. We ain't got to worry about him getting to the quarterback. Oh, but when you bless him, though, with that speed, trust me. Yeah, I went with that because and now the last so now the two D tackles.
Give me Timbo.
Timbo is not my first one already.
Yeah, Timbo is gonna be on my squad. I know the next guy I'm probably gonna shock a lot of people. And he could play. He could play.
You said what about John Offerdahl for linebackers? You can have yours. Two fans.
Who?
Wilkins and Randy Stark. John Offerdahl. He's either from the 70s or the 80s. You know, we were just being. Yeah. I was born in the 80s, sir, so I don't really know like
that. Randy Starks for me is not gonna make it.
No.
The guy I'm gonna say now, he played both. He could play and out, right? He was like Zach Sealer almost, right? Depending on what kind of defense you were running at the time. I'm gonna go Trey. Well, no, we didn't draft him. Fuck. I wanted that white boy Trace Armstrong, dog.
No, we didn't draft him. Yeah, Trace Armstrong. Ooh, big number 93. Yes, sir.
I want Trace Armstrong, man, on that squad.
Yeah, Trace Armstrong with you.
Okay, yeah, then I probably have to go with Daryl Gardner then.
Daryl Gardner was there. I went with Bob. Paul Soliai is a good one too. But I went with Bob Bumhauer. I had to go get some old school dudes. Put in work. Original. I went with them. I did want Derek Coleman though. For my end, when you said Trace Armstrong, because he played, I wanted to go Derek Coleman because he would keep Traylor 3 toes. That was good. He said 80s and 90s. Yeah. But yeah, man, I wanted to do something different. I know. I gotta pick up my daughter too. He put the all. Listen, y'all put your all team. Matter of fact, put some in the comments and hit us up. Hit the like button, man. Oh, yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all get up to 500, man. We would. Someone asked me today, so I'm gonna let y'all know we are going live for the job party. For sure, we are. That boy said Channing Crowder. Did you put Channing Crowder as your linebacker?
Yeah.
Yeah. We will be live for the job party for sure on Thursday. Obviously, Friday night is one of our regular days, so y'all gonna most likely we gonna be here Thursday and Friday. The Saturday is a little up in the air because that's round 4 through 7, right? Round 4 through 7.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a whole long entire. That's gonna be a long doggone show. I mean, so I don't know if we're gonna do that. We might come in and put in. I'll talk to Lou backstage to see maybe do an hour, maybe hour and a half on Saturday, maybe but that's gonna be a long. Now I'm good with first and second round because it's not gonna be that so drawn out. But yeah, but Chase Armstrong was the beast. Man, we lost him to the Raiders. He went to the Raiders. But yeah, man, I got to get out of here, man. My daughter moved off, so I got to always, we usually run an hour and a half, 2 hours, but just love some Buckeyes and we'll be straight. He said, just drive some Buckeyes and we'll be straight championship vibes. Yeah, but so listen, y'all lay around for it. We will be around for the draft. So y'all make sure y'all pull up. Y'all know where the party at. Y'all know where we gonna be lit at. We might, you know what I'm saying? And it's on Thursday. We might not get too lit, too lit, cause y'all gotta go to work in the next morning. But yeah, just a minimum of 2 is gonna be Thursday and Friday, and yeah, so we gonna be lit. You got anything before we get up out of here, Lou?
Ain't shit, man. Y'all be safe. Have a good weekend. Y'all know what it is. Deuces.
Yo, we'll see y'all Monday, 7:30. Deuces. Did I? Yeah, I did the end. I was like, did I hit the end?